كان شوف حل الناحية التانية دي مش شغالة لسه. هكلم أحمد لا السبيكر هنا النهارده مش محتاجين يعني. جبناها هنا. يا خضر دكتور خضر يا دكتور خضر السلام عليكم. يا جهاد اتفضل يا دكتور. جهاد مش هيخلص النهارده فنيد ستارت على طول. هديك الكمبيوتر بعد كده يعني I can give it to you. خلينا نبدأ. We can actually do it from here. Take that. That's good. Good. Perfect. انت جاي الصورة بتاعتك كله تمام؟
كده تمام. I think yes.
الصورة لو خدت سكرين ايوه كده كويس. كده كويس؟ كده.
If I want to change the screen, I have to do the mouse.
You can do it right then. Just click here. Okay. You can use it.
I'll use the arrows.
Yeah. Go up.
All right, like that. Okay.
So if you click out of that here, go up. Right there, and you can go down. Okay. All right. Okay. طيب السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Tonight we are very pleased to have MIPAC with us tonight. MIPAC is the Muslim Public Affairs Council, and I have a special love for this organization. It happened to be the first bylaws that been written for this organization that Alhamdulillah wrote the bylaws. So the first bylaws, I wrote that bylaws for I think was 20 years, about 15 years ago, I think. 2002, subhanallah, almost 20 years, subhanallah al-alameen. And I also have a special thanks to Dr. Hisham. He was here about a couple of weeks ago teaching us about the vaccination and COVID-19. And I spoke to him that we need to develop our community that to be actively involved in the political area to raise the awareness of the community. And we need MIPAC to help us with that. And he responded very favorably, alhamdulillah, and we arranged it for Dr. Khudr Zarour. Dr. Khudr Zarour, he is a political science professor at Virginia Tech, and he will take us in a journey today. Hopefully it will not be very academic, we'll take it to community, right, Doctor? Make it at our level, yani, inshallah. And I know that you are very high in academia, so make it to our level, inshallah. Yeah. And the title of the night is Sustainable Community Development. We'll be with Dr. Khidr for about 25 minutes, 30 minutes maximum, and then we'll have open discussion, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Bismillah. Yeah. Let me start to record it. Are we going to record the session? Is that okay with you?
Fine with me.
All right, let me see what is the recording.
I'm not going to make money.
We're just recording it to make sure that you are not getting out of line.
No, good idea. That's always wise.
Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum. I am happy and grateful to be invited to be with you tonight. I drove by here, I think in July and early August, and that's when the changes was going on. And that's kind of motivated me to become, again, I've been involved for a long time, but I've been motivated and really enlightened by your presence. So I am here, inshallah, to share some ideas with you. I'm not really lecturing. You don't need to be lectured to, especially by me. This is just common knowledge that I think the community should take seriously because we want to be not only survive, but we want to thrive throughout the world, especially where we live in our communities. Okay, so sustainable community development. Why do we have it? What does it mean? We're trying to explain that, and there are different methods and approaches to studying community development. Okay, I will talk about briefly about two, and the third one is really what I'm going to be focused on because it's community engagement and collaboration. And this is really where the focus should be tonight. But I'll talk about, inshallah, the other two approaches, the technical and the other one briefly. So alhamdulillah, we are in a society that allows us to, technical difficulty, excuse us.
No, just go. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so how do we define community development? Okay, and we'll talk about the reasons and the importance why we should have sustainable community development. Okay, I'll get to that in just a second. But what is the definition of community development? Any group of people, individuals that have common concerns, common cause, will get together, pull their resources together, and try to do something positive for the community. Why? Not only for survival, but again, maintaining their identity. That's really, really important. And being involved economically, socially, politically, culturally. We all have a culture. We all have multicultural. We may have more than one culture. We may have an Arab, Pakistani, Indian culture, African culture, yet we still have, and we have to maintain our Islamic identity. And one way to do it is to empower yourself and define who you are. Don't let the media define you. You have to define who you are so the media doesn't make a mistake and define you inaccurately. That's really important. So we're going to talk about a couple of things which are really important. Community development versus community of development, or development of a community versus development in a community. In the community, when you build infrastructure, i.e. this building, okay, roads, highways, etc., the infrastructure, and of course of community, building the human capacity, okay, what we can contribute, how we can improve ourselves, empower ourselves, and become more knowledgeable and more advocate for our society and for our communities. So this is the different, in technical terms, the difference between in and out of community development, okay? So why do we do community development, okay? Well, before I get to the slide, if you go to the Outer Banks, have you heard of the Lost Colony? You've heard of it? All right. Why is it Lost Colony? Why can it be found? Because those early immigrants did not sustain and maintain themselves. They disappeared, okay? And as you know, this building was a church before, right? Okay, why is not a church anymore? Okay, again, the community has to maintain itself so we don't become extinct, okay? Early Muslims that migrated here in the 18th century, including my dad came in 1900, basically they went back because there was no Muslim community, no Muslim identity, okay? Now, alhamdulillah, the last 20, 30 years, we have many more Muslim communities emerging and spreading across the land, okay? Which is very significant. So what are the reasons for community development? Why do we do it? Besides thriving and surviving and maintaining our identity, we have a vision. Okay, we want to expand participation. Participation is important. We want to see different people, different faces all the time doing different things. That's important. And we want to act and react to the society around us. Okay, we want to be proactive. We don't want to be always defending ourselves, but we want to improve our situation by becoming engaged. Okay, and that's really where people come in. Okay, so we have to satisfy the needs of our community. we have to focus on how to maintain ourselves and, of course, progress beyond our numbers. We want to expand not only demographically, but your power, your voice in the community, in the business community, in the cultural community, in the economic community. You count. Okay? You have to make your voices heard. So the three approaches of community development are technical assistance. We're not going to talk too much about it, but I'll explain it in a second. Conflict approach, again, we'll have a, inshallah, in the future. It seems that we want to have an ongoing effort in this matter where we have Friday night event, and Maypac, inshallah, has decided to participate. So we'll talk about that later on. Okay, and the self-help approach, which is basically what I'm going to focus on in the next few minutes. Okay, technical assistance approach basically involves delivery of programs. Okay, I see tonight at least 2 or 3 programs. There's the Al-Nur Islamic Center program, Maypac program. I'm sure other programs. That's really, really important. That's a technical aspect. I'm not going to get too much into it, but involves top-down approach. Leadership will come up with a policy, with an idea, with a program, and of course, people on the ground will focus on developing those ideas and participating. Without participation, technical assistance will not survive. Okay? And we focus on certain tasks. Okay, we focus on certain tasks, and we assume scientific answers to everything we do. We look at numbers, we look at technology, we look at everything else. So we have to understand complex information. Sometimes we ask people to register to vote. What do you mean? Can they just send us to register us for the vote, or can we just have the government vote for us? That's not how it works. Okay, so you have to explain technical information, and we could deal with that later on.
Assalamu alaikum. If I can take a minute to welcome all those who joined us on YouTube and Facebook. If you have any questions, you can post it at Facebook, and we'll get to the questions, inshallah, when we start the questions. Further.
Okay, the conflict approach. Okay, this is the second approach that we laid out. We're going to talk about it briefly, but we'll get into the third one. Focus on deliberate use of confrontation by professional organizations. Sometimes you have one organization, it splits up because you have competition among them, and then they lose focus and they become divided society. As President Lincoln said, house divided cannot stand. That's really, really important. Okay, you cannot divide a community if you are expecting to survive and to carry out your mission. Has a redistribution of power as its goal. Who owns what, who controls what. So the inner fighting is bound to happen, it's gonna happen, it will happen. So we're not gonna talk about it much more, but it fosters suspicion of why is this group doing this? Why isn't this group doing something else? Why not focus on this issue or that issue? So again, this is the conflict approach which we try to avoid. This is the self-help approach. And this is where really Maypac focuses on. We want to empower the community politically. Inshallah, the next session we'll have, I think after Ramadan, we'll have Brother Glenn Silver to talk about the political aspect. And this is, again, an ongoing program. It encourages people to work together. Okay, we try to pool resources from the community and try to achieve our objective, whatever the objectives may be. So it involves collaboration. Yeah, as you know, tonight we have 2 groups organizing, collaborating to have this service for the community. Okay? Emphasis the process above the task. How you do things is important. You want to assign tasks to different people. If they don't own it, they're not going to participate. If you don't give them a title, you don't give them a position, you don't give them official responsibility, that's not going to lead to productive or fruitful outcome. So therefore, you need to assign people to different tasks and make them own it. Not only do it, but you're responsible for it. If you succeed, you get the reward. If you don't, you don't. Okay? So this is the comparing community development models. You kind of need all 3 approaches to work together. But in reality, I'm just focusing on the last one. But we're looking for change agents. Who can lead the change? We all have ideas, We all get together, we all have meetings, we all discuss different things, but that's not important. What's important is what is the agent that's going to make things happen. Not wonder what happens, okay, or plan things to happen, but what actually can you do to turn the wheel? And that's what's really important for the community. Okay? Alhamdulillah, we're doing okay. Not great, but we're doing okay. So orientation, again, you look at the task, you look at the process, who's going to do what, and view of the individual. Every one of us, every one of you have at least a view or two or three how things should be done. Okay? We have our own personalities, we have our own background, we have our own histories, we have our own education, which is different. And that's fine, that's okay, as long as you focus on the goal at task. Focus on the goal at task. Basis of change. What are you trying to change? How are you going to change it? And the duration. Okay, you want to change, you want to vote for one candidate one time and the organization will disappear? Or do you want to maintain yourself as a community and become empowered? Okay, your vote must count not only one time, one vote, one time, one election, one candidate, but throughout the system. You want to become integrated into the system. Okay, otherwise you're not really developing. You're talking, but you're not really developing unless you have that change agent building the community and addressing the problems and the concerns and the issues at hand, whether it's immigration, whether it's traffic, whatever the issue may be, you need to focus on that. Okay, and it's action goal. Okay, action goal. This is when you become more involved in the community. You have tasks, you accomplish them with a certain deadline. Why we do that? Well, you want to get things done. You also want to build credibility. It's very important to be credible in anything you do, especially in politics. If you can promise to deliver 1,000 votes and you do deliver 1,000 votes, that's power. If you promise 1,000 votes but you only have 2 people voting, that's not power. So you have to have credibility in community development. Okay. So self-help. Okay, how do we help ourselves as a community? Again, there are different approaches. How we do that? Asset-based community. Asset-based community. We look at the assets the community has. We look at people. We all have skills. I mean, tonight I've been for 25 minutes now, and I've seen a lot of talents. People organizing salat, people are taking care of the kids, people are organizing. That's important, okay? So we need talents that people have and encourage them to participate. So people, physical resources, okay? Lights, infrastructure, building, etc., place to pray, place to gather. So physical resources, people is key. That's what we're gonna focus on for next, I think, 10 more minutes we have. People, okay? We all have talent. Even those that usually claim, we don't know anything, they know something, okay? Even the quiet ones who don't participate in anything, you give them an assignment, they do it very well, okay? I mean, I've seen, in MAPAC the last 20 years, since 2001 when we start meeting, you have some people who have always been involved. You have some people always are active, always looking for a change, looking to maintain the community. And some people come in and leave and do other things, and that's fine, but we need to have more collaboration. So people, number one, natural resources or physical resources that we need to have. Local formal institutions. This building is an institution, MAS is an institution, MAPAC is an institution, IR is, we have to build institutions. And that's what makes America really strong and powerful, because of the number of institutions it has. And those institutions, again, they house a lot of talented people. Okay? They could access 25,000 PhDs overnight. That's power. Okay, not many countries can do that. Okay, and voluntary associations. Again, a lot of us are volunteers. We do it not because of a paycheck, but we believe in the cause. We believe in the cause. We believe in the mission, and this is what really should be our motivation to maintain our identity and to protect our community. Because our community is growing, whether by demographics, immigration, migration, or by birth rates, or again by conversion. So our community is growing. The last 20 years, well, since really 90 when I came here, 91, We had one masjid or two, possibly three, from Greenville to Manio. Okay, now mashallah we are growing as a community. Okay, and that's positive. So assets of people, you cannot overlook at the assets of people. Why do we send our kids to schools? Why we want to provide them best education? Why have Sunday school, Islamic school, Ammar bin Yasser school, all these schools? Because we are trying to invest in the next generation. Okay, so assets of the people cannot be overlooked and cannot be overemphasized. Okay, so very important key to understand. We all have talents, we all have skills. Now the question is, who can provide that talent? Who can capture that talent? A lot of famous people, musicians, for example. I follow music, especially heavy metal music. Those people were discovered by accident at the mall, at the airport, and whatever, at whatever. So they get discovered. They have talent. No one else saw that talent except one individual that is looking for that talent. Okay? To me, I don't want 1,000 people on my committee. I want 3 people that are active and are willing to do the work and have been doing the work. That's what's impressive. So assets of people, and build the next generation. Put people in key positions that could have an effect on positive outcome. Okay? Voluntary associations, as you know, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, non-profit organizations, are always trying to recruit volunteers. Okay? These associations are critical in, in our times today. Okay? It's very, very important, cannot be overlooked. So they rely heavily on volunteers, non-paid volunteers, okay? But they believe in the mission. You want someone that's motivated, active by their, not only by word, but by deed, because they believe in the mission. I have few, if any, paid staff. It's good to have one person that is always doing the work, but getting paid for it. That's rewarding. It may not cost very much, but that's really, really important to have in any organization to thrive. Okay, have autonomy from the state. Again, we don't have to worry about that. Our government doesn't get involved in how many people are attend your meeting, who attends, when they attend. They don't really care. They leave us alone. Alhamdulillah, we are very grateful that we have a system that kind of hands-off policy, laissez-faire policy. Okay, so it's self-governed associations, and this is what we are doing, and we should have more of that. When new organization, Muslim organization starts, I don't mind, I encourage it, as long as we collaborate and not fight. Okay. Okay, tend to be non-for-profit organization, and they provide benefits for the community. Okay, that's what we are doing, just providing for the community. Local institutions. Okay, this is really a benefit of local institutions. We provide programs that are catered to the specific community. Okay, they're not catered to the rest of the world, only for Al Nur Masjid or for Wake County. Okay, very, very specific, and again, relying on volunteers. So providing programs, free programs usually, we're trying to facilitate activities where people are engaged and people are learning. Knowledge doesn't impress me much if it's on a shelf. Okay, we have wonderful books behind us by the windows. It doesn't impress me if we don't read them and use them and act upon them. That's really important, at least for me. So you have to carry out the functions of the organization, not just meeting and talking and taking minutes, but also carrying out the actions, and that's really important. If you want to influence the community, this is our mission, is to influence the political behavior of politicians. Okay, you're always going to have Islamophobes. We're going to have that for the rest of our lives, but we have less of it because we are becoming more vocal. Okay. All right. Again, families, education, economic health, political, government, etc., and religious institutions are very active, especially in America. They're non-for-profit organizations. The government gives them a lot of tax breaks. So we have advantages in having local institutions. People ask me, why not national institutions? They're wonderful, they're beautiful, they're great, but in reality, they're not in touch usually with the local folks. This is the problem we face. Not all organizations are in that category, but a lot of national organizations lose touch with the local population. Even the Republican Party, national headquarters, they take cues from the local folks, not vice versa. Okay, in third world countries, other countries, the national headquarters demands what things to expect to happen. Not so in the United States. Okay, it's the local community that decides. Okay, and they basically control the national organization. Very important to keep that in mind. So I prefer to stay local because we only us understand our issues and our goals. So physical resources, natural and human made. How much time do we have left?
5 minutes.
Oh, okay, very good. I'm almost done. So physical resources, again, are very important. There are capital, okay? But the capital, the most important capital is not buildings, it's not lights, infrastructure, or it's not a rug you pray on. It's mainly people, okay? Again, I'm gonna go back to people. That's really important. So let's look at the community capitals framework. Capitals, I don't mean as in a city. Capitals, I don't mean just in money, but capitals are in terms of 7 community capitals that all communities have. We all have culture. We all belong to at least one culture. We are hyphenated communities, okay? African American community, the Muslim American community, the Arab American community, the Pakistani American community. We're hyphenated communities, okay? Sometimes we carry on more than one flag, one label, 3, 4, 5 different cultures, okay? And that's important, and that's okay. This is actually a benefit, okay? So culture is very important. Capital, you could capitalize on that. Human capital. What can you do as a human being? You have talent, you have education, you have graduate degrees, you have experience, you work for IBM, you have a lot of experience and a lot of human capital. And this is the key, human capital, because keep in mind, you're not paying them, okay? They're just doing it because they believe in the mission. Social capital, okay? Social capital is only valuable if you are engaged with the locals. If every now and then, you know, you'll meet with your representatives, meet with your local mayor, meet with the local sheriff, okay? So it's really social events, okay? You have to go to social events. Ramadan is coming. I'm assuming Al Nur Masjid will have iftar, and they may invite the local people, and I think they should, as we all other masajids do that. Political capital, okay? Can you call your local representative 2 o'clock in the morning, like Jihad does sometimes, and he gets an answer, okay? And he gets an answer because they know he's active, and they know he will harass them until he gets an answer, okay? So that's political capital. They know we vote. They know we have 19 years of voting record, so they know we will vote. They know we will behave according to us most of the times, not always, okay? Financial capital. Okay, if we could do fundraising, and we have been very successful in the community, raising money to build masajids, to send money abroad, what have you, that's important. So we look at financial assets of the community, okay? If you want to build a masjid, buy an old building and make it into a masjid, this has been very successful in our community. So financial capital, the money is there. We just need talented leaders to get that money out of the pockets, out of the bank account, and into the community. That's the best investment. And again, building yourself as a community, building your infrastructure, building your identity. And natural capitals, okay? What do we have? Natural capitals, okay? We have the geography, okay? We have the climate, certainly. We have a lot of natural resources that we could benefit from.
Good.
Okay. Again, this is just more definition of the 7 capitals I just talked about. And this is an ongoing, again, effort where we try to engage the community, not once a lifetime or once a year, but probably every other month or so, maybe bi-monthly, not only here, but throughout Wake County and even Durham County. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you for listening. I'll take any questions, comments, concerns, or criticisms.
Jazakallah khair. So I will first stop sharing the screen so we can see you, Doctor, on the top right there, so you can be bright.
Thank you.
You brighten the.
Finally, I look bright.
You brighten the screen, mashallah. Because there are some people online. I tend to ask first, so I will give you first the floor if you like to ask Dr. Zarour any of the questions. and then we will move there, inshallah. So, Brother Bara, he will be getting you. If you raise your hand, Dr. Khalid, turn off the mic. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
I have a question. So, mashallah, since League started the actual activity in 2002,
Use the mic, Doctor.
where we are right now as a political organization in our RTD area.
Where are we now? What do you mean?
Yes, I mean our strength as a
Okay.
political organization. How effective we are. Number two, how are we doing our job as a Muslim to support the organization we are?
Okay. With the first question, we are, alhamdulillah, we have maintained ourselves as a group. Okay. Our mission and statement has been more focused, more detailed, more expressive, and more inclusive of the community's needs. Okay. So we have been vibrant, we have been active, we haven't stopped. We endorse every election. Every year we have endorsement. Some politicians, they contact us because now we're becoming more active. They contact us to find out who we're going to endorse because they care. Usually Republicans, judges, a lot of Democrats did not even attend our meetings, attend our events. Now they expect to come to our events. Okay, so are we doing a good job? We're doing a fair job. I think, alhamdulillah, we're doing okay. Can we do better? Absolutely. Have we done a great job in reaching out to the Muslim community? Well, we started off on a good track, I think, over the years, 2001, 2002. After September 11, we became really active, really vocal. Then again, the MAPAC leadership became divided over issues. Some wanted to become more religious, some less religious. We're not religious institution. We're just focused on protecting the Muslim rights. Okay. So can we reach out to the Muslim community? Yes. And inshallah, we started this year on the right footing. We need to, even with COVID-19, we need to be out in the community, meeting with people. We have the leadership. We have the secretary in the back, Dr. Aisha. We have Dr. Hisham. We have Brother Jihad. We are trying, Sister Manal, sorry, she's the outreach committee person. So we're trying to be more engaging. We need to do a better job, obviously. So now you're aware of us. And if you want to participate, Sister Manal on the table has voter registration cards and MAPAC membership cards. It's free to join. But when we go to a politician and say we have 10,000 votes, that politician will listen. Okay? That's why other communities don't have the same stigma as we do, okay? Because they've been involved in organizing for decades. Now we are newcomers and we have a lot of obstacles, more than any other community in the world, okay? So we have to overcome that. And the only way we could overcome that is when we pull our resources together, okay? We have our own unique culture, okay? No one has that except the Muslim community. Okay, you could be from Brazil and be a Muslim. You care about the other Muslim from the Philippines, yet live in Wake County. That's a strength that we have. Politicians are becoming aware of that. And they want to tap into it. I think the person that said it best was Paul Finley. Paul Finley was a Republican congressman from Springfield, Illinois. He was invited, I think, once or twice to MAPAC event. And he said, there is a lot of talent in the Muslim community. Only politicians, if they discover it, they will continue winning elections and money will come down to them in barrels, okay, if they tap into the Muslim community's assets. So they know we have assets. We just have to find it among ourselves, pull it together. Thank you for the questions.
Can I add something? Your question was a good question. I would like, we've been very active over the last 1 year. Very, very active. And we got involved with the local government as high as the governor. We went to the governor, we talked to him, and as high as the congressman, your congressman area, congressmen and senators, we visited these people and we talked to them. We made friends with some, and some they just left. So there is a result now. We see them, and then in addition to this, we are in contact with other organizations, governmental organizations. You just name it, we can have some knowledge and contact with them. We do that very well. But unfortunately, ours, MAPAC, is the board or the people who are organizing it from day to day. You know what? They are doctors, they are engineers, they are teachers. They are very busy. They are professional. And can you imagine if I pick up the phone and I want to talk to Dr. Hisham? He's a doctor. I can't take him out of the patient, you know. Same with Qudr. So it is a professional one that sometimes we don't have devoted people. Like here in the masjid, you have to have 1 or 2 or 3, in addition to all of these volunteers. So we do have some, progress. We have very good progress. But another thing is we still working on it, the communication between what's these things that has been done and to inform you. Okay, we have people working on this. Yes, we are short-handed in getting the piece of information like we met with the governor, for example, and then we wanted to relate it. What did he tell us as a community? We were there in your behalf and everybody's, all the Muslims behalf. So there is a good information that we have, but unfortunately, it's just like, you opened the masjid successfully. This is the first time I come to the masjid. I'm not very happy to say that, but I'm just telling you, the communication is still, it's part of what Qudr has said. We as a community, the larger we get, bigger, the smaller we get in communication with each other. And that's a fact. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. I think that we, alhamdulillah, can I have the mic so we can, we don't elongate the session. Jazakallah khair, Brother Jihad, Jazakallah khair, Dr. Khalid, and Dr. Qudr, and Dr. Hisham, all MAPAC representative here. We are so proud of these organizations, and we will tap on your expertise to help us, inshallah, in the future. Here at Al-Noor Islamic Center, when we started with COVID. So COVID was starting with, subhanallah. And in that very short period, alhamdulillah, we started an interfaith group with the churches and with the known to the mayor of Holly Springs and a few quick. And they came, some of them came here, and others will come inshallah in Ramadan as we suggested. But what else can we do from the MAPAC that we can do together as MAPAC and as the Noor Center to strengthen the position of the Muslim community within the political field? We have, at least here in Holly Springs, 3 congresswomen that they live in Holly Springs, and they met with us on virtual, and they are looking forward to come here. When we do that, are you willing to come as MAPAC to be with the open house and to work with the politician here as well?
So yes, absolutely. MAPAC is always eager to meet with politicians, with decision makers, because our goal is to empower the Muslim community. I don't have a personal benefit from doing this. I just want to do it for the cause of the community, to empower the community, because I'm a member of the community. So empowering you, I'm really empowering myself. So absolutely, MAPAC is always eager and pleased to be engaged at any time politically.
We are happy to hear that. Do you request anything from our community that we can take it to the community on your behalf? Would you like to do voter registration, membership registration? How can we help you to strengthen your position as MAPAC in the city?
Both are great. If you could increase the membership, and I want most importantly participation from the community. If the community could send us 10, 15 people to work with, especially during election time, that will be fantastic because we're always short-staffed during elections. When we do the endorsement, we're always struggling. Instead of taking us 2 weeks, it takes us 6 weeks to get the same amount of work done. If we have volunteers canvassing, going door to door, supporting certain candidates, that will give us an open door to their homes. We get to see people because now we are ingrained in the local community, and we got to take advantage of that because we, especially the young generation, speak with better English, okay, less of an accent. They look more, integrated than some foreign-speaking folks. No disrespect, but this is a fact of life. So if they are marching down the street, walking, working for a politician, answering phone calls for politicians during the election campaign, that will buy us a lot of political goodwill, and that's really important. What I would like for Al Noor Masjid to do, and maybe Dr. Hisham has ideas and Jihad has ideas, but to me, more activities like this would be very, very helpful to recruit people, number one. Number two, if you could have maybe issues to discuss with local politicians, whether it's the climate, whether it's COVID-19, whatever it is, security measures. That's important because we don't want to just focus on foreign policy and focus on what's going on with, Sisi. We want to focus on local politics. That's our best assets. Okay, and once we become empowered, then we could direct foreign policy if we want to. We will have the political capital to do that.
You know the mayor here, Dr. And the city council and, the different kind of things.
Yes, sir.
That's great. That's great once you know these things.
Yes.
And you always could invite them, they invite you. You could always
We created an interfaith group that's working with the outreach, and it happened that my son is leading the group, Ahmed, and he is now writing the bylaws for the interfaith in there. And we are all together meeting every 2 weeks. Still virtual because of COVID,
Yeah.
but inshallah, the community are coming and opening, and you will find more participation, inshallah. I'm pleased to say also that the executives here in Al Noor Center and board are, I am the oldest, I'm the old guy, but they are all young professionals. They're like 30s and early 30s actually. So they are very young people leading the organization, and they are open to be open to the society. So it is up to you, and I will take it as a promise from you that you will come here and participate with the activity. The place is open for you anytime that you like to come. Let us know how we can help, and we work together to strengthen the position of the Muslim community.
Inshallah.
Is that a promise, inshallah?
Inshallah, yes, sir.
MashaAllah. Dr. Hisham, do you need to say something?
Yes.
Bismillah.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Khidr, for that informative lecture. One of the main challenge for the community, by my observation through the years, it is a human nature when you facing a danger or threat, you are more energized to protect yourself, working together with the other people, and when things relax it and become more safe, this is a human nature to become relaxed. So this is a challenge facing the people engaged in the political matter and the religious organization. How to motivate people, how to make it as their habit in their life that to be involved in the political issue, something very vital for themselves, for their future, for their progress, for the generation of coming after that. How to make these changes in the behavior of the people. And this is need a collaboration between the MABAC and the other religious organizations.
It might not be the time for now to talk to me back, but we have a lot of love for me back and also feedback from the community. So Dr. Zarour said that we are not a religious organization, even though that your name is Muslim Public Affairs Council. So what is the guideline for that?
It is by the registration. This is we are 501c4, and all the religious organization or the masajid is 501c3. So we are a PAC organization, and this is the official registration in the state. So we are by the law, by the registration, we are not a religious organization. We are PAC organization. PAC organization. If you look in the history of this society nationwide, there are about 4,000 plus PAC organizations. Different people, different background, different interests, big companies, political, religious. They created PAC organization to lobby and act on their behalf. So this is the difference between PAC, which is MAPAC, even it is called Muslim Public Affairs Council, and the other religious organization. I hope this answers your question.
Yeah. The question will have other questions to it, but
we're not a religious institution or association in terms of promoting our religious beliefs. We're not converting people to Islam. Our idea is just to protect Muslim rights.
And also, as a Noor Center, we are not converting people to Islam, we're accepting people to Islam.
Right.
Right? It's different.
Yeah, you may have a da'wah committee.
Da'wah.
We don't have a da'wah committee. We just want to empower the Muslim community and protect their rights in America, North Carolina, really.
If anybody wants to be a Muslim, Khadr sent him to the synagogue.
Yeah, I want to work something.
We're about to finish now. Do you have any question, brother? Bismillah.
My question is the scope of this organization. Is it only in North Carolina, or it's all over the United States?
Only North Carolina. We've been around, I guess, for almost 19 years now. We were established October 2001. We started discussing, but we're officially registered as a PAC in 2002. But we started in North Carolina. We're going to remain in North Carolina. We are the only PAC, Muslim PAC in the United States. What does that mean? It means we're the only organization that actually we can officially endorse candidates. No other organization does that in America except MAPAC. And that's important, that's a benefit. We have other organizations, but they're not PACs. They're not registered as collecting money and funds and votes for politicians. But we can operate legally under that premise, if you understand.
The candidates should be within North Carolina, or they could be from different states?
We actually endorse candidates on all three levels of government: national, state, and local. So we do that. All three levels.
But the members should be within North Carolina?
No, that could be from anywhere. But they just, I mean, if they want, we only endorse in North Carolina, except the presidency. We endorse because it's a national position. So we endorse for that. But we don't promote it outside North Carolina because we don't have members outside of North Carolina. Okay?
Do we have any other branches for MAPAC in other cities of North Carolina, or just here?
Well, just Wake County, but alhamdulillah, we have been growing. For the first time we're endorsed, not first time, maybe third time, we're endorsing candidates in Durham. So Durham candidates are expecting MAPAC, they know about MAPAC. We have a couple of members who live in Durham. And I think one young sister was elected in Durham, and I think the Durham commissioner. She's a young sister, very active. So outside of Wake County, we are becoming an effective group. In fact, we are working with Muslim candidates across the state. We have a couple of them in Charlotte. Some are in, well, the former Representative Larry Shaw from Fayetteville. And we're working with future candidates. If you're interested in running, reach out to MAPAC. We'd love to help you. So we're trying to encourage all Muslims to participate. Our votes matter, and they treat us the same anyway. So might as well become one body, one ummah. This is really what we try to push for. Okay?
Let me add something for you to make it, and for the rest. Do you know, and I don't know if you know it or not, do you know that the first time in North Carolina, there has been a judge, a Yemeni Arab Muslim judge has been appointed. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's not a secret. It makes us so proud. MAPAC has played a very, very important role for that gentleman to be a judge in Wake County District. And he's a young 35, 37 years old. He is an attorney. He has a successful experience, and add to that, he is a Republican. And the governor, who is a Democrat, he hired him for many, many reasons. And we did play a very important role to pass to the governor that this guy deserved to be a judge, in addition to a lot of people that we have contacted. So this is something proud for us to say that MAPAC has done that. And if you like to meet him sometimes, so you could tell the young generation that, you see, he made it, so anybody can make it.
That would be great to have him, inshallah, to come and talk to the community. And this is the longest after Aisha program of the at Al-Nur Center. Even for Dr. Hisham, he did not get that much time
I'm privileged.
When he spoke to us.
I think there's one question.
There are questions on the Facebook that coming to you. You said that MAPAC has been claimed 20 years of working in Raleigh, and the outcome need to be more expressed in items. We have done 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be very clear, disseminated to the community, so the community will buy into it and will participate. So I think that's the essence of the question. There is no tangible outcome that the people can refer to.
Okay. So we have an endorsement list that MAPAC releases every election, and it's very detailed. In fact, the former mayor of Raleigh, Nancy McFarland, she put it on her website and she said, this is what endorsement should look like. Okay. Now, if you give us your email, we will make sure you get that listing in that email, the information. So we're active. We don't really communicate as much as we like, because again, people give us wrong emails or don't give us their emails, or they give us an old phone number. So it's hard to reach everybody. We have about 600 members. Is that right, Sister Mana? More than 600 members. So they all get it. And we send our flyers to the masajid. We have posters. We put posters, Dr. Hisham and I, the last election, at I think 5, 6 masajid. So we're always trying to be active, but we need manpower, human power.
So the follow-up questions, COVID allowed many organizations to be on the virtual waves, and where are you?
We've done both. We're still meeting face-to-face, and we meet virtually.
So do you have community engagement programs on Zoom to engage the community and to talk to them, like the one that we did tonight?
Not this exclusive, no, but we have just among MAPAC members, MAPAC meetings, which are open to the public. We use Zoom, and anyone can participate. If they're interested in having the link, we'll be happy to send it to them.
Very good. All right. We'll be happy to share your link with our website when you're ready to have some.
If you could put our website somehow in your email list, that would be great, or on your website, reach out to MAPAC for political items.
That will be, this session will be recorded on our Facebook, and I will put the MAPAC link to it.
Fantastic.
If you have a membership form that they can refer to, we can have that also under that as well.
I think it is online. Is it online? Yes. Membership. It is online. The form is online.
All right. So I think with that, we thank you, Dr. Zarour. That's a great presentation. And we hope that the Muslim community here in Fuqua Varina and Holly Spring will be developed to have the voice The people are open to us, alhamdulillah. We met with the Holy Spring councils and Fikr Verena. We met with the city council actually a few weeks ago, and they are willing to come here to see you, to meet with you, and we will continue to do that, inshallah. We delayed it because of COVID. We actually scheduled it, and then we delayed it again after the second wave of COVID. But they are ready for us to come. And when we schedule it, we will hold our brothers and sisters in MAPAC accountable, and we'll ask them to come in, present yourself, be with us, so we can be strong together.
You know, what I think we should do, I mean, this is something for you to do, is to have a town hall meeting this year. There's municipal elections this year. So I'm sure the town of Holy Springs, Verena, if you could have a town hall meeting, we would love to have it here, if you could host us.
Sure. We have the place to use it, inshallah.
Okay, that's all we need.
جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. جزاكم الله خيرا.